College student Kazuya has a bad breakup with his girlfriend Mami. To help him get over the breakup, he uses an online dating app to rent a girlfriend named Chizuru, but they stop after realizing that they are actually classmates. However, although they try to avoid each other, the two of them keep getting into misadventures together and start to have budding feelings for each other. One day while at his house, Kazuya reminisces about Chizuru informing him of a renowned filmmaker intending to scout the forthcoming theatrical production she's part of. On the appointed day of the performance, Kazuya decides to go see it. Unbeknownst to him, Chizuru's friend Sumi, who is also part of the Rent-A-Girlfriend program, is also present nearby, spectating. Amidst the unfolding drama, titled The Harem Princess, Chizuru embodies the character of Nene, a skilled female ninja, earning accolades from the audience for her portrayal. As the curtains fall, Sumi contemplates approaching Kazuya but ultimately decides against it. Meanwhile, backstage, Chizuru exudes confidence until she discovers that the director opted to enlist Shiori, who portrayed the princess, owing to their enduring friendship. Later in the day, Kazuya and Chizuru chance upon each other. While Chizuru berates herself for perceived lack of talent, Kazuya reassures her of her remarkable abilities. In her residence, Chizuru receives commendations for her performance from Umi and Shiori over a phone call. Subsequently, she experiences distress until she notices that Kazuya has initiated a request for a date. Kazuya spends time with his pals before he heads off to his workplace, seeking advice from his supervisor once he arrives. Following his shift, Kazuya rendezvous with Chizuru. During their excursion, Chizuru assures Kazuya that he is not obliged to continue covering her expenses. She also expresses her apprehension about his ex-girlfriend Mami and fellow rent-girlfriend Ruka, who he has been growing close to. Meanwhile, Kazuya recollects a pact with Ruka, agreeing to keep dating Chizuru on the condition that he accompanies her to watch Chizuru's play. After Chizuru wraps up her duties, she proposes a visit to a batting cage. Later in the evening, they make their way to the hospital to visit Chizuru's grandmother. During a private moment, her grandmother discloses to Kazuya that despite Chizuru's outwardly strong demeanor, she craves companionship and is often lonely. Later, her grandmother urges Kazuya to be a source of support for Chizuru. As they return home, Kazuya contemplates how he can be of assistance to Chizuru, and at that moment, she appears at his doorstep. Chizuru discloses that she has misplaced her key just before entering Kazuya's residence. Kazuya is taken aback by the situation until he observes Chizuru stepping out onto the balcony to inspect her alternate entrance. However, this leads to an uncomfortable moment when he rescues her from a potential fall. In the midst of this, Mami unexpectedly appears, prompting them to conceal themselves. Once Mami departs, she wonders about Kazuya's whereabouts until she notices Chizuru's purse. Meanwhile, as Chizuru contemplates visiting the landlord, Kazuya assures her that she can lean on him if she cannot turn to her parents or friends. This paves the way for them to share details about their respective family situations and aspirations. Later on, they coincidentally cross paths on campus, much to Kazuya's delight. Following this encounter, he finds himself approached by Mami while he is alone. Mami inquires of Kazuya whether she is accountable for his decision to rent Chizuru, a notion he uncomfortably refutes. She proceeds to suggest that he should pursue a genuine romantic relationship. After their parting, Mami casts aspersions on Kazuya for deceiving her before approaching Kaiba in the corridor. Post-work, Ruka opts to prepare a meal for Kazuya at his residence. Later, they discover that a typhoon has hit the region, prompting Ruka to stay over for the night. During their time together, Kazuya notices Ruka's endearing qualities until she unintentionally reveals a condom. As he attempts to retire for the night, she cozies up beside him. While Ruka criticizes herself for potentially causing trouble, Kazuya acknowledges his happiness at her confession of affection, but declines her advances. The next morning, Ruka departs from Kazuya's apartment, expressing her gratitude loudly. Kazuya is relieved, presuming that Chizuru is still asleep. Unbeknownst to him, Chizuru overheard the entire conversation. 3 days thereafter, Kazuya and Chizuru encounter each other outdoors, with Kazuya sensing a certain distance in Chizuru's demeanor. Upon returning to his residence, Kazuya discovers that Chizuru's birthday is approaching in 4 days. On the actual day, Kazuya decides to hire Sumi. During their outing, he seeks Sumi's counsel regarding a suitable birthday gift for Chizuru. Eventually, Sumi guides Kazuya to the rooftop of a department store, where it is unveiled that Chizuru is participating in a hero-themed performance. Just before parting ways, Sumi inquires about Kazuya's birthday, to which he responds. Later that evening, Chizuru returns home to find Kazuya's gift, a box of himuboshi, a sweet treat, which she appreciates. Meanwhile, Kazuya reflects on whether he made the right decision. Kazuya and Chizuru rendezvous outside, where Chizuru expresses gratitude for the birthday gift Kazuya gave her. When Kazuya tries to book her for the following week, she discloses that her schedule will be filled with plans to hang out with her friends. On the university grounds, Kazuya's companions extend an invitation to a social gathering. Later that evening, much to their surprise, Kazuya and Chizuru cross paths at the party. Amidst the revelry, Chizuru's inebriated friends playfully tease her for her introverted nature and even go so far as to remove her glasses. However, Kazuya's friends, in their intoxicated state, are unable to recognize Chizuru's true identity. As the night progresses, a drinking game ensues, and Kazuya realizes that Chizuru, being a novice drinker, is likely to blow her cover. In a deliberate move, he loses on her behalf. Once the festivities conclude, Kazuya finds himself too inebriated to navigate, prompting Chizuru to accompany him home. There, she provides comfort until he drifts into unconsciousness. The subsequent morning, Kazuya, nursing a hangover, finds himself unable to recollect the events of the prior night. Proceeding to school, he mingles with the cohort from the previous night's revelry. Upon returning home, he uncovers the fact that Chizuru had indeed been present in his apartment. While at work, Ruka experiences disappointment upon realizing that Chizuru does not believe her assertion that she and Kazuya engaged in intimate relations. In the midst of this, Mami makes an appearance, disclosing that Kaiba informed her about Kazuya's employment. Once Ruka identifies Mami, she confronts her and asserts herself as Kazuya's current girlfriend. The baffled Mami, later contemplating the situation on the train, is surprised when Chizuru makes an entrance. Following a tense exchange, they part ways. That night, Mami decides to follow Kazuya's grandmother's Twitter account. While enjoying dinner, Kazuya receives a call from Ruka, who offers an apology for her past behavior towards Mami. Meanwhile, Mami initiates interaction with Kazuya's grandmother on Twitter. Back in Kazuya's apartment, he makes the exciting discovery that Chizuru has earned a promotion. Subsequently, Kazuya and Chizuru embark on an excursion to Tokyo Dome City, both donning high school uniforms. During their outing, they intentionally steer clear of Sumi when they spot her at a clothing store. The duo then proceeds to an arcade, where they capture moments in a photo booth. Unfortunately, Kazuya faces a hiccup in retrieving the pictures when Chizuru notices two girls donning the same uniform as hers. After exiting the arcade, they take a ride on the Ferris wheel. Following this, Kazuya purchases a commemorative photo, and Chizuru drops the news that another producer has scouted her after watching the play she participated in. Kazuya contemplates how he can contribute to helping Chizuru realize her dreams. Upon discovering that Chizuru's birthday has already passed, Kazuya's grandmother decides to merge Kazuya's birthday celebration with hers. When Kazuya extends an invitation to Chizuru to join him at his family's residence, she discloses that she plans to visit her grandmother at the hospital beforehand. The following day, Ruka approaches Kazuya as he heads to the party, having gleaned information about his attendance with Chizuru. Upon their arrival at Kazuya's family home, Ruka takes advantage of the situation to make a positive impression. Meanwhile, Chizuru is at the hospital with her grandmother. During a phone call with Kazuya, Ruka eventually intervenes, suggesting that Chizuru shouldn't bother coming over. Later, she secures her grandmother's approval to attend the gathering. After some time, Chizuru arrives and pays her respects at the family altar, leaving everyone surprised. When Kazuya heads to the bathroom later on, Ruka surprises him with a kiss. Following a prolonged and intense kiss, Ruka expresses to Kazuya that she is determined not to lose and harbors no regrets. Upon returning to the party, Kazuya's grandmother endeavors to bestow the family's engagement ring upon Chizuru. Sensing the situation spiraling out of control, Kazuya opts to announce to everyone that he and Chizuru have parted ways. However, just as he is about to make this declaration, Chizuru receives an urgent call from the hospital. Upon reaching the hospital with Chizuru and his grandmother, it appears that Chizuru's grandmother is okay. Yet, the doctor informs Chizuru that her grandmother's time is limited. Despite Kazuya's inclination to disclose the truth, Chizuru vehemently refuses. Subsequently, Kazuya's grandmother presents Chizuru with the ring. In the aftermath, Kazuya and Ruka engage in an outing where Ruka declares a truce. As night falls, with Kazuya pondering his next steps, Sumi is prepared to meet with him. While conversing on their balconies, Chizuru discloses to Kazuya that Sumi wishes to meet with him. A few days later, he rendezvous with Sumi, and he quickly notices she's clad in a high school uniform, indicating she spotted him and Chizuru at Tokyo Dome City. Their next destination is a marine mammal park, where Sumi takes on the role of Kazuya's guide. After some time, she guides him to a dolphin show, attempting to express her feelings. Later that night, they venture to a renowned romantic spot where Kazuya finds himself in a state of fluster until Sumi hands him a birthday present. When she inquires about his apparent unease, he opens up about the complex situation involving Chizuru, leading to an emotional exchange between them. As they bid farewell, Kazuya expresses gratitude to Sumi for the enjoyable time they spent together. Once she departs, he discovers newfound inspiration to assist Chizuru. Following yet another unsuccessful audition, Chizuru reflects on her grandfather. In a flashback, he instilled in her the belief that dreams always materialize. Taking her to a shrine, he shared a legend that fueled her aspirations upon discovering her grandmother's past as an actress. Enthusiastic about her newfound dream, Chizuru's grandfather pledged to be there to witness her success. In a subsequent turn of events, Chizuru faced heartbreak upon learning about her grandfather's severe injuries in a car accident. Recalling the legend, she visited the shrine, fervently praying for his recovery. Unfortunately, the injuries proved insurmountable, and in his final moments, her grandfather assured her that her dream would come to fruition. Back in the present, Chizuru is overcome with grief when Kazuya arrives at her doorstep, proposing they create a film together using crowdfunding to fulfill her late grandmother's wish. After contemplation, a tearful Chizuru reluctantly agrees, and the two of them start to work together to bring the wish to reality. And this is all for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.